Hi, everybody. It's your girl, Blendy and Swirl One. I'm at home in my son's room cleaning up because you know how kids are. They keep their room a mess. Like Theo on Cosby Show. My son's like that. But I want to make a video to talk about a few things real quickly. First of all, I got about 40 new subs in a week. I don't know how that happened, but it did. I think the For Real video is what did it. People sent me all kinds of messages, and I say thank you guys very, very much. For starters, I want to say I got a lot of responses to the, God bless you, honey, to the video I did about Miss Archduchess, Bigotry Free for TV. And the responses I got were all these horrible people came out of the woodwork. People who are the type that follow the men who hate women on YouTube. Those kind, they found the video. I guess because of the people's names in my title. And they sent me all these messages, trying to get me to agree with them and understand where they're coming from. You know, one of them even sent me a message saying, well, why do you like those people? Those people don't like men, and just crazy stuff. And I didn't respond to any of you guys because there's no reason to. I'm from the West Coast. We believe if we believe in something, we don't waver. So my thoughts and my opinions on Miss Archduchess, Bigotry Free TV, and Nia's Little Artist haven't wavered. Sorry. Anyway, I'm making this particular video because I change subjects all the time. I don't do videos for views. I do it because it's something I want to speak about, and I speak about it. This next video is because I got a letter. All the video responses I've been getting, one of them really stood out to me. It was from a young woman by the name of Fatima G. She sent me a letter, and the letter was basically saying that she has saw a lot of videos that attack single mothers on YouTube. A lot of videos saying single mothers are the problem of the community and single mothers are so awful and they're ruining society. And she said that it really hurts self-esteem and it makes you feel bad because you're doing the best you can as a single mother and you're getting attacked. And she asked me my opinions on that. She wanted to hear my opinion on single mothers and single parenting. I'm going to speak about single parenting in general, but her letter was speaking about single mothers. So, Fatima G, I'm going to respond to your letter. I won't share your letter totally on here because I didn't discuss everything with you, if that will be okay, so I won't do that, but I will share my thoughts on single mothers and single parenting. My thoughts to you, first of all, Fatima, is not to focus on the people making the videos speaking badly about single mothers. They're not important. Ignore them. What is important now is that you get yourself in the mode of excelling by pouring as much love and attention into your children as possible. They're going to need that. Help them deal with all the things we got to deal with in life. They need to really feel loved and cared for by you as much as possible. And we can't be too busy as parents to do that. So you make sure you do that. I don't know what the situation is with the dad or the father, but you have to do as much as you can for them as possible. And that would help them with their self-esteem and how they feel about themselves and how they'll interpret the people they'll encounter in the world and things like that. So the first job as being a mother is, single or not, otherwise, is to make sure that you pour as much into your children as possible. Love, attention, care, all of that. That's the first thing. But then we have to also discuss finances and money and living situations, because a lot of people who are single mothers are struggling financially. I mean, struggling money-wise. There was a study done a few years ago that said that black women who are single mothers are the least amount of people to acquire wealth. I mean, their net value was like $1 or something like that. That means how much you got in assets, not credit, not my mama gonna give me some money, but your actual assets was the lowest out of all women, because most women are not, of other ethnic groups, don't think being a single mother is cool. They think it's awful. They don't want to do that because of the fact that you're usually poor and really struggling. So I say, get yourself financially fit. If you had children before you were financially stable, It's going to make it harder to become financially stable, but you still have to try. You got to do it. If you got to go back to school and get skilled in some type of business where you start your own business, or you have a career job where you need to be skilled to get a decent, when I say decent job, nowadays, I don't know what state, depending on what state you're in, you need to be making at minimum $20 an hour to be able to just live somewhat comfortable. I'm not talking about living rich. I'm talking about the basics. To be able to afford to live somewhat okay, you need that's the minimum. If you've been getting less than that, you're going to be struggling because of the cost and the expense of parenting and raising children. So you need at least that, and that requires you to have skilled in something. Go back to school, get a degree. I'm going back to school right now. I'm studying classes to get my AA degree in theology right now. And I have a child too. And I have a career. But I'm still doing it because I want to get as much knowledge and wisdom as I can. Because I know one day I want to be able to be making enough where I can quit my career and just work on my own, and then eventually hire my son and he takes over the business. So I always wanted to be able to leave him a lot, leave him a passed down property, homes, wealth, money, business. That's what I want to do for my son. I told my best friend that 6-7 years ago. I want him to not have to be out here begging for anything from anybody. So that's why I said, if you are a single parent and you wasn't stable financially first, then you got to get stable financially. That's the second thing after pouring the love into your children, is doing that. You don't want to have them living in poverty and poor, and then they don't have anything either, and then the cycle keeps continuing of being poor and poverty, and nobody has any money. You want to break that. You don't want that to keep continuing because you didn't set up a foundation for them. They can't set it up for their children, and it keeps continuing. You don't want to continue that type of, that's not an inheritance we want to leave. It's broke and poverty and struggle and problems. No, you want to leave an inheritance of, my kids got something to start their life with, just like everybody else does for their children. You want them to have something to start their life off with, so they're not having it so hard. So that's the second thing, is getting yourself stable if you're not already. I do want to say something that may be controversial, but I'm going to speak my mind because I always do. Once you complete that, you may feel like finding a partner. I beg anybody out there who is a single parent, don't have any more children single. If you got one kid or you got 5, it don't matter. The more kids you have by yourself, it makes it harder for you to do certain things, like I was mentioning, going back to school, getting degrees, getting into a career, starting your business, and all of that. It's hard to do any of that because when you have kids, they need you. So yeah, like me, I'm even though I have a career and I'm going back to school myself, I'm still very involved with my son's education, PTA. I'm on the PTA. I go to meetings all the time, and I have to do that. I have to give him that much of me on top of all my other things I'm doing too. So your circumstances become harder. It's more difficult finding mates because we all know some people may not like ready-made families. Some people don't like that. And some of them don't like children. If you got one child, they say, okay, she had one child. She's by herself. 2 or 3 or 4, it's hard. It's very, very difficult. So if you have one child and you're in a struggle and it's rough, don't keep having kids by yourself. It just makes it so much harder for you and for them. And I'm talking about good mates. Very difficult. Because people who are stable and established and they got their lives in order, why would they accept you with so much responsibility already on you? They don't have to do that. And you'll meet mates, but they won't be worth anything because if they willing to accept all that, you got to wonder what's up with them. So, no. Also, some people have an animalistic response to children from previous relationships, and they mistreat your kids, or they don't like them, or they may try to drive a wedge between the parent, mother or father, and the child. So that's the things you go through when you are already have children and you're not with the father or parent or mother anymore, and you meet new people when they come in your life and you find a new girlfriend or a new wife or a new husband or a new boyfriend, and then they have to meet your kids. That's the kind of things you go through. They may not like your kids, or they may not like that you have children already, and they might start trying to drive a wedge or mistreat your kids. And that's the things you go through because they don't want competition for your attention. So they drive wedges. So when you're a parent and you have kids, you got to think about all of that, all of those things before you allow people into your life too closely around your children. Now, this next piece I want to speak to is for men who are single parents, because I want to speak to men. I got a lot of new male subscribers found me. I don't know why. I think because of the Pharrell video. So I want to speak to you guys as well. Men who are single parents, if you don't live with your kid, go to court, ask for joint custody. The reason why I'm saying this is because share in the care of your child. Keep the connection. Plus, if you share in custody, your child support will be cut in half. So you're sharing in the workload of raising them, of caring for them, of spending time with them, of dealing with them with their schoolwork, and you sharing that, sharing all of that. Stay connected, stay involved. Even if you're not with the mother and you guys have no intentions on reconnecting, it don't matter about her no more. Stay in your kid's life. They need you. Men, you guys are very important. You guys are very needed. More than you know, actually, and I'm going to get on that next. If you are with a new woman and she doesn't like that you have children by someone else, she probably is not a good woman, to be honest, men. A good woman will admire a man who doesn't walk away from his responsibilities and his kids. She'll admire that about him. A good woman would. A good woman usually has mother instincts. I have it naturally. Even before I had my son, I was a mother type towards other people's kids in my family and kids that were around me. Even before I had my own, a good woman will not think it's okay if you walk away and don't care nothing about your kids. They would, if they okay with that, they're not usually good. Think about that, fellas. A good woman would never think that was okay if you didn't have no knowledge of where your kids were, or if they had something to eat that day, or what decent woman would think that was okay? Think about that, fellas. Like I said, your child support will be cut in half if you share custody. So take her to court. Ask for half custody from the mother if you're not with her anymore. Also, I would like to say to men, even if you're not with your kid's mother, stay in their life. Don't leave. If you don't stay in their life, predators such as molesters and abusers, usually they come around and they know the kid's not protected, they pounce on them. Usually abusers and molesters dip out if the father is still in the picture. They scared of that because they usually prey on kids who don't have a father, who don't have nobody checking on them and watching over them. That's the ones who get molested and get abused. So please, men, you don't know how crucial it is for you to stay in your kid's life. Protect them. Be in their life. Don't walk away. Don't lead them. If you do, other men who might come in the mother's life might be molesters. Might abuse them, rape them, mistreat them. Don't do that. That's why you see so many messed up people now, dysfunctional people now, because they were not protected. Please stay in their life. Please. If you, for some reason, cannot stay in your kid's life because you had them by a lunatic, men or women, then get yourself stable and get your kids. Save their life. Don't leave them with a lunatic. Don't do that. You have no idea the damage that will be done if you leave your kids with a lunatic. Now, that was your fault. You did not wait to get to know them well enough to see that they were a lunatic, to see that they were not mother or father material. That's your fault. You should have got to know them better first. But if you, by chance, just wanted to sex and you weren't thinking that far ahead, because many of us are like that, and you get involved with a lunatic and get them pregnant, or you have a father that's a lunatic, then you gonna have to get your kids. You do not want to leave them with a lunatic. You don't. They'll damage them so much you will have more problems to deal with unless you just dip out and stay away and then you abandon them. So please, if you recognize that the other parent is a lunatic, please stay in a kid's life and maybe possibly get them from the lunatic. Please do. Anyway, that was just my response to single parenting for men and women both who are single parents. I was once one. I know what it's like. I've been there. So I have a lot of love for single parents. And don't let people on YouTube make all these videos making you feel bad about being one. Don't ever feel bad about that. But don't keep being one either. Meaning, don't keep having them if you're one already. Anyway, I'll let you go. I'll be back really soon. Peace.